Let me ask you something. If the grocery store near your house closed tomorrow, not for a day but for a week, what would you feed your kids? Most people have never seriously thought about that question. And honestly, most people don't want to, because the answer is uncomfortable. You'd figure something out, right? You'd call someone, you'd drive somewhere else. There's always a backup plan. But what if there wasn't? What if a major storm knocked out roads for days? What if a prolonged power grid failure shut down supply chains across your region? What if the shelves were just empty? This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't fear-mongering. These things have happened. They're happening right now in parts of this country. And every single time the people caught off guard say the same thing. I thought we had more time to prepare. Here's what nobody talks about at the dinner table. The average American home has about 3 days of food in it, maybe 4 if you stretch it. After that, you're making decisions you never practice making. And if you have children, that changes everything. Because hungry kids don't understand logistics. They don't understand why the lights are off or why there's nothing in the fridge. They just look at you and they wait. That moment, that look, is something every parent dreads at a deep, almost primal level. It's not about being dramatic. It's about being honest. We have been conditioned to depend on systems we don't control. And most of us have never once stopped to ask what happens when those systems fail us. Think about every generation that came before us. Your great-grandparents knew which plants were edible. They knew what grew in their region, what was safe, what was medicinal. That knowledge was passed down because it had to be. It was survival. Somewhere along the way, we traded all of that for convenience, for supermarkets, for delivery apps, for the assumption that food would always just be there. And that trade made us vulnerable in ways we don't fully feel until we suddenly do. Here's something most people find surprising. Right now, within a few miles of where you're sitting, there are dozens of wild plants that are completely safe to eat, nutritious even, plants that have fed people for thousands of years. The dandelion in your front yard? Every part of it is edible. The leaves are high in vitamins A, C, and K. The roots can be used as a coffee substitute. People have survived on dandelion alone during times of scarcity. Clover, plantain, wood sorrel, purslane, chickweed. These aren't exotic plants you'd find deep in a forest. These are plants growing in parks, backyards, roadsides, and hiking trails across North America right now. And almost no one knows what to do with them. That's the real gap. It's not that nature isn't providing. It's that we've lost the ability to read what nature is offering us. For most of human history, this knowledge was considered basic, essential, the kind of thing every adult simply knew. Now it's become a specialty skill that only survivalists and hardcore outdoors people take the time to learn. But here's the thing. You don't need to become a survivalist. You don't need to take a wilderness course or spend months studying field guides. You just need to know enough to keep your family safe when it matters. And that threshold, the minimum knowledge required to make safe decisions in the wild, is actually much more accessible than people think. Imagine this. You're out in nature with your family. Maybe it's a camping trip that's gone sideways. Maybe there's been an emergency and you're moving on foot. Maybe it's just a long hike and you've run out of snacks. And instead of panic, you feel something unexpected. Calm. Because you know how to look at what's around you. You recognize the shape of a leaf, the color of a berry, the way a plant grows near water. You know what to pick, what to avoid, how to prepare it. Your kids are watching you, and instead of fear in their eyes, there's trust. That's not a fantasy. That's a skill, and skills can be learned. People who've developed this knowledge describe a shift that goes beyond practical preparedness. They talk about feeling more connected to the land they walk on, more grounded, less anxious about the uncertainty of the world. Because when you know you can feed yourself and your family no matter what happens, a certain kind of fear just loses its grip on you. That's the real transformation, not just knowing which plants are edible, but reclaiming a sense of confidence and control that modern life quietly took from most of us. Now, I want to tell you about something that I think genuinely closes that gap in the simplest way possible. It's called the Foldable Forager. It's a compact, weather-resistant reference guide that fits inside your wallet. Not your backpack, not your glove box, your wallet. Which means it's with you every single time you leave your house, without you having to think about it. Inside, it covers over 55 edible plants, trees, nuts, and more that are native to North America. Every single one comes with a full-color image, so you can identify it accurately in the field. Not a sketch, not a vague illustration, a clear, detailed image that actually helps you make a confident decision. It also includes information on where each plant grows, which parts are edible, how to prepare them, and what potential medicinal benefits they carry. And for situations where you're genuinely unsure about something you found, there's a universal edibility test, a step-by-step method for safely assessing unknown plants when you have no other option. This isn't a book you read once and put on a shelf. It's a tool you keep on you for camping trips, road trips, everyday hikes, and yes, for emergencies. the kind you hope never come but know you should be ready for anyway. A lot of people who've picked this up say their first thought was to grab a few more for their family members. Because once you have it in your hands and you realize how practical it actually is, it's hard not to think about the people you care about who don't have one yet. Right now, a single guide is under $15, and there are options to get several at once for a significant discount, which makes it one of the most affordable preparedness investments you can make. There's a full satisfaction guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it. If you've made it this far in this video, something in this conversation resonated with you. Maybe it was the image of your kids looking to you for answers. Maybe it was the realization that you're more dependent on systems outside your control than you'd like to be. Maybe it's simply that quiet feeling that you should be a little more prepared than you currently are. Whatever it was, trust that instinct. The link to pick up your foldable Forager is right below this video. It takes about 30 seconds to order. It ships fast. And once it's in your wallet, it's just there, quietly doing its job every single day, whether you ever need it or not. That's the best kind of preparation. The kind you never have to think about until the moment you're really glad you did it.